Carmen, you are to leave this house right now.
What? Holly, what's going on here right now?
I happen to know what you've been up to.
You are after my husband's inheritance, right? His inheritance? You're telling me that I'm after your husband's inheritance? Like his money and stuff?
And that is why you are working so hard to make sure he's taken care of by you now, correct? The fact that my son's wife is coming into this house and dealing with all of my husband's needs in order to get his money when he passes, that's you trying to swindle him and I, right?
What exactly are you going on about right now? I know that I'm not going to get any of his inheritance the day he passes, and I've also never really talked with anyone about it to the point where I think I'd be getting it.
Well, of course you'd never talk about it and say you don't expect to get anything from him because you're trying to steal it from us. I've seen that you're very good at making art on that laptop of yours.
And what does that have to do with me supposedly going after your husband's inheritance?
You seem to really know your stuff when it comes to making art on there, so you must also know your stuff when it comes to committing fraud and all that illegal stuff, too.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure where you see the connection in my abilities with computer design and doing things that are fraudulent. What has led you all this way to thinking something like that? Not only did you come out of nowhere saying all these things about me, but most of it doesn't even make any sense.
All of my husband's inheritance is mine to keep.
Wait, what I want to know is why, of all times, have you chosen now to start talking about things like his inheritance? This is all way too strange for me.
I will not give you a single penny of it.
Answer my question, Holly. What is all of this about? I have no idea what's going on right now. Cooper, I'm sorry. I'm going to be heading back home to my parents' house for a while. Actually, I'm already on the bus heading home to them now.
Oh, what? What's going on? Why are you going back to your parents' place?
Well, your mom started talking about all these strange things. I wasn't able to make any sense of it, and it seems that she's too far gone right now for me to get any answers from her. So I'll be away for a little while to try and give her some time to calm down.
So in other words, my mom has gone and started having more of those crazy delusions again?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure what ended up happening, though, to start those delusions again, but I made sure to take some screenshots of the conversation I had with her. I'll send them to you now, and hopefully you'll be able to piece together what might have happened to her this time.
Sounds good.
Also, there's the whole thing of taking care of your dad.
Don't worry about it. I've been thinking about being around him more for a while now, so I'll take some time to stay home from the office, work remote. Also, it's not like my dad is completely helpless, as he still can do quite a few things on his own. I know things were probably a real headache again for you regarding my mom, but since you're heading all the way back to your parents' house, take the time to really relax there, please.
Thank you, Cooper. And thank you for taking care of your dad for me.
Have a safe trip home, okay? Carmen, I had a look through all the screenshots you sent me. What the heck happened here? Honestly, I want to know myself why right now, of all times, my mom is wanting to start talking about my dad's inheritance.
It's the same way I was feeling. Why would she be talking about it all right now?
By the way, when I got home from work today, my mom was standing at the counter with this large dinner made for me with a huge grin on her face.
Oh?
Do you think that I can go show my dad all these screenshots you sent me?
I don't really care what you do with them, but is that going to be all right for him?
Well, I'm not really sure I can say things will be fine with him. But right now is the best time for him to see something like this.
You think so?
If my dad starts to give me some details on what's going on here, gives me the go-ahead to tell you about it, I will. But, I'm starting to think that all this is only going to get worse for everyone involved before things start to get better again.
I kind of agree with that. But this is something that he should be aware of too, I guess, so please let him know about it.
Thank you. I will.
Carmen, you don't have to ever come back here again, okay?
Holly...
Well, even if you do come all the way back here, I'm not going to let you back into this house.
I still haven't really come around to understanding what all you're talking about, Holly. The whole reason I came back to my parents' house is because I started to realize that you weren't going to calm down any for some time now. So I'll be staying here with them for a little while and you won't have to worry about me.
Excuse me, I am always calm. If anything, I am so calm all the time that I was able to see right through your lies and could tell that you were trying to go after my husband's inheritance.
But the thing is, I'm not after any of his money. I know that as of right now, there's not really any sense in talking to you at all, as you're still a little bit out there, so for the time being, I'll be at my parents' place.
And you don't ever have to come back here.
My things are all still over at your house, though, so there will be some point in the near future where I have to stop by and get everything. But for a little bit, I'll be out of your way. Goodbye now. Cooper, I just received a few more texts from your mom. As far as I can tell, things aren't going to work out with her.
I see.
How are things going with you and your dad? Has he said anything about those screenshots you've shown him?
He has. And I was actually getting ready to tell you all about it once I had the chance. He's told me that this is pretty good timing, actually, for some things he had in mind, so he's going to make his move really soon.
I see. Well, as long as he has a plan in mind, then I guess we're good here.
I think by the beginning of next month he'll be ready to move, so you and I can work alongside him. All right?
Sounds good.
Hey, Carmen, why have you come all the way back here?
We talked about how I'd have to come over one more time to grab all of my things last month, right?
I get it. You said that to me before, but I know in reality you're here to take all of our things that you can and make a little extra money on selling to thrift stores, right? I will not allow that to happen.
Then you can stand watch over me as I pack the rest of my things up and get out of here. And actually, you are in the house with me right now, so why are you texting me all of this when you could just come up to me and talk?
I have no idea what dangerous things you could do to me, so I won't get anywhere near you.
Is that right? Have you come around to understanding that all the things you keep saying are totally mind-boggling?
I don't have time to think about that. Now get out of here. I will not allow my daughter-in-law to come into this house any longer and take what my husband has from me. I feel so sorry for my son getting all caught up in your scheme to swindle this whole family. He must have no clue about you. Well, there's no money here for low-life frauds like you. You divorce my son right now and leave us all alone.
I'm already on my way out of here. And the divorce happened a while ago.
What?
That's why I'm here right now, grabbing the rest of my things and am making my way out of here. I only have a few more things to grab here, so can I stop texting with you for the time being? And as far as the key to this house, I'll leave it in the mailbox for you once I get outside.
Is that so? Finally, you've given up. Don't you ever step foot on this property ever again, you hear me? Carmen, what the hell is this?
What's going on now? When all you say is this, I have no idea what you're talking about, so how about you give me a little more detail first?
My husband left me some divorce paperwork and left this house. And following right behind him, Cooper. I know that you were the one that took a hold of those two and forced them to leave me here. Give me back my family.
Can I ask you something really quick?
What?
I'm not sure if you're going to give me a comprehensible answer to this or not, but thought I might as well try asking. All of this stuff about me going after your husband's inheritance and such, where did you end up hearing about that? Who or what told you that I was going after his money?
Huh? Oh, you of all people should already know the answer to that one. Your parents' bakery went under, and now they have a lot of money that they have to pay to the banks because of all the money that they borrowed.
What?
And as you've been running around trying to find where to get that money to help them pay off their debts, you started to eye up my husband's money.
My parents' bakery? As far as I'm aware, their bakery is still in business, and they haven't had to borrow any sort of money from the bank.
Huh? But a little while back I had walked by where their bakery normally was, and it was turned into a 24/7 shop.
Well, about that, my parents moved locations.
They moved the bakery?
They started to listen to some of their customers' feedback, and what a lot of them were saying is that the bread and all is nice, but that the store was too small. So they went ahead and rented a new location just down the street. That's almost double the square footage. And that's where they moved their shop into. Didn't someone tell you about this?
What?
By the way, if that bakery was really in a bad situation and went under, I would have said something about it to everyone, and so would Cooper. Also, when it comes to my father-in-law, his legs are not that bad, and he can still pretty much do all of his daily routine on his own. How the heck did his inheritance come into play recently? Don't you feel a little bit stupid bringing something like that up when there has been nothing related to it at all?
Well,
It's because you really went off the deep end this time that your husband went and asked for a divorce.
That's right. Where is he right now?
Cooper came out to see me and my parents here at my parents' house. But I'm not sure where your husband went.
What? But Cooper is with you. You both got a divorce, right? Why would he be with you at your parents' house right now if you got a divorce?
Because just a second ago, we went and got married again at the courthouse.
Why would you go through all that trouble?
Because it seems that this time Cooper wants to receive my family's name in the marriage, and so that's what he's done.
Excuse me?
This is all stuff that I think Cooper would much rather talk to you about himself. So I'm going to get going and let him have a conversation with you now.
What's going on here?
Mom?
Cooper.
To start things off, Dad went and entered a retirement home, just like he had been wanting to do.
A retirement home? Why the hell would he do that? Oh, what's all of this about right now? Did he do something like that to try and hide from Carmen? That's what happened here, right? And now she's forcing you to remarry her and take on her family's name.
When is this going to end, Mom?
What?
The reason that I want to take her family's name in this marriage is because I want to.
But why would you do that?
Because I freaking hate being your son.
Huh?
Whenever the smallest things change, you start to have these freaking delusions about what happened and go completely off the deep end, making up this story that has no meaning to it. Then you start to get people who have no involvement in whatever you're going on about involved. And from there you start pinning them as the culprit and start to either treat them with disdain, or you completely push them away thinking you're the victim of something that's not even happening. This time was the last straw for me, Mom. Things like this have gone on for far too long with you, and I don't want anything to do with it anymore. And this time by far has been the worst, since you went and had my wife kicked out the house and then asked for her to divorce me. Calling her a fraud, saying that she was after Dad's money, and the same thing goes for Dad in this situation. He's still young, he's not in any sort of bad shape, So why would you start talking about his inheritance like he's going to die soon? You are completely lost, Mom.
No, wait, I didn't mean to.
I'm done with your crap, Mom.
Cooper.
I'm no longer forgiving you for behaving that way. This is the end of you and I. I'm cutting ties to you.
You would never.
You should be able to understand now why Dad wanted to get a divorce from you.
What?
After this, you'll have to talk with his lawyer about it.
He's gotten a lawyer involved now?
Well, he's had to, because no matter what anyone tries to tell you, you make it all about yourself and only fall deeper into your delusions. So he'll have a lawyer handle all of the legal things for him, considering the lawyer is more capable of handling crazies like you.
No way.
Goodbye forever.
Armin! Oh, please would you lend me $50,000? I'm on the lookout for a lawyer right now that will be able to help me beat my husband in court so that we don't have to get this divorce. As long as I can get enough money to afford one of these super strong lawyers, then my husband will have to listen to me and will never be able to leave my side. So that's why I need that $50,000. If your parents' bakery is all fine and still in business, then that means you must still have plenty of money yourself, right? I'll make sure to pay you back with my husband's inheritance someday.
So, your delusions are starting up again?
What?
I have no reason to help you battle my father-in-law in court. Go see yourself a therapist or something now. Bye-bye. In the end, it became pretty clear to everyone why Holly was always so delusional about everything going on in her life, and why she always claimed to be the victim. It turns out that growing up, she had been incredibly spoiled by her parents. And going through school and college, she was always the pretty girl. Because of all that, she had this massive pride that soon led to her thinking that everyone else was wrong and that she was right. Both Cooper and I learned about all of this from his dad when we next went and saw him at the retirement home. He and Cooper both told me a bunch of stories about how she'd always have these delusions about things like relationships, the news, the government, and so on, which would cause the both of them quite a bit of stress at times. But this last time, when she was going on about wanting her husband's inheritance and that she wouldn't let me get a penny of it, Cooper's dad was no longer comfortable with her anymore. He is still young after all, so there shouldn't be any sort of talk about his death and his money right now, which is what ended up breaking his heart. And that's why he had to divorce her and get out of the house. After the divorce was approved and made final, Holly went back to her parents' old house. But things didn't get any better there, and she began to cause issues for many people in her family, to the point that one day they called the mental health services on her and had her taken to a hospital to be treated. She's gone through many kinds of medications now in search of one that can calm her delusions down, but it will take even more time to get her to stop having them entirely. There are times where she does get to go back to her parents' house for short periods of time, but during those times she's not allowed out of the house and must stay in the basement so that she's not overstimulated.
Good evening, Avril. It's me, Taylor. Who do you think I'm with right now? Go on, sweetie. Why don't you have a little guess? It could be fun. You'll never believe it. I'm with your sweet, darling husband. I have some rather unfortunate news for you, though. He won't be coming home to you tonight. Oh, sorry. Want to know why that is? Have a guess. Have a guess. Have a guess. Me and him will be spending the night having a little fun in a luxury hotel room, if you catch my drift. Don't bother objecting, because I won't be taking any complaints. Nothing but fun and positivity is allowed tonight, and believe me and your man will be enjoying plenty. Alrighty, well, it's finally time to turn off my phone, dim the lights, and enjoy a steamy night of passion with your husband. I'll let you know how things went in the morning. Good morning, Avril. You'll be pleased to know that your husband and I were going at it like rabbits until the sun came up. Man, am I tired. I don't remember the last time a guy gave me a servicing this thorough. Oopsie, is that too much information? Sorry, sweetie. What am I, like, stealing your husband all the way to myself like this? Someone really ought to stop me. I'm so greedy. Oopsie, I almost forgot to tell ya. He'll be going straight to work from the hotel, so you won't be seeing him for a little while longer yet. He can't say I didn't tell you now. Huh? What the hell is all this? Oh, Avril, there you are. I thought you disappeared from the face of the earth. I saw you weren't reading any of my messages, so I figured you were just looking at the notifications and trying to deny reality by shying away from replying to me. Burying your head in the sand won't work, dear. Sorry, but I've been on a plane this whole time. All of your messages came through at once when I landed, and I was a tiny bit confused, to say the least. Huh? You were on a plane? Yep, I just landed back in America. Wait, you mean you were abroad? Hang on, you've been on vacation? Good grief, dear, you should really know your place. Huh? Is it any wonder your husband cheats on you? Excuse me? If I were you, dear, I'd cherish the little time you have left to spend your husband's money on luxuries like overseas vacations while you still can, because you won't be able to for much longer. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me, but I keep looking through all these messages you sent me last night, and I still don't have a clue what you're talking about. The same goes for the stuff you're saying now. Huh? Actually, I'm pretty busy and have to go to work, so I don't have the time to get to the bottom of whatever the heck it is you're talking about right now. So if you'll excuse me, I have to go. Bye. Huh? Avril? What are you talking about? How can you not understand what's happening after everything I sent you? I spelled it out plain as day. How much more obvious can I make it? Do you need me to send you pictures of us in the act? Are you mentally handicapped or something? I literally couldn't make it any clearer if I tried. Oh, I know. That must be it. It's not that you don't understand. It's that the realization that your husband is cheating on you was so traumatic that you went into denial mode as a coping mechanism. I read about this in a psychology magazine before. It's a real thing. Wait, does that mean you lied about going on vacation too? Was that another coping mechanism? Oh dear, this is just too pathetic. Sadly for you, I have no intention of ending my fling with your husband. Sucks to be you, but our steamy love sessions will continue for the foreseeable future, dear. Eventually, if we carry on long enough, you'll have to divorce him. If there's anything resembling a brain cell in that hollow head of yours, I'd suggest you start making the necessary emotional and financial preparations to say goodbye to your man forever. Hey, Jess. I just landed back in America. How's my favorite big sister doing? Hey, Avril. Welcome home. I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks for looking after my son while I was away on business. You really are a lifesaver. Don't mention it. We more or less live together anyway, so it's not like anything really changed. You don't have to thank me at all. Well, I want to. It just so happens I splurged on a little something for you while I was abroad by way of thanks. Aw, you shouldn't have. That does sound great, though. I'm super excited to see what it is. Will you be going back to work now? Yep, I have to file some important documents away in the safe. But I was told I could wait until tomorrow before I make my official leaving announcement, so I plan on resigning after tying up a bunch of loose ends at the office today. I should be all right to make it home by this evening. I see. All right, that's great. Oh, yeah. There was something else I wanted to discuss with you. It's kind of important. Someone who seems very much like they might be the woman Dan's cheating on you with showed up on my radar recently. What? This is just speculation for now, so we should definitely find out whether it's true or not first before we do anything with it. Who is she? Her name is Taylor. She's one of the other moms I sometimes speak to outside kindergarten. Taylor? Oh, wait, that name rings a bell. Hang on, wasn't she the single mom whose husband divorced her when he found out their daughter wasn't his? The one who still doesn't seem to be able to tell the difference between me and you? I think she came up to me outside kindergarten last month. She tapped me on the back and said, "Hey, Avril," just like she always does. Yes, that Taylor. When I turned my phone back on after landing at the airport, it started blowing up with this never-ending torrent of weird, creepy messages from her. She sent them all while I was flying. I don't know how the hell her mind works, but her messages were so full of misunderstandings, I could hardly believe what I was reading. Based on the overall vibe, I think she's the girl we've been looking for. I see. Well, one thing's for sure. If it's Taylor we're talking about here, she's definitely capable of doing something like that. I was planning on showing you the chat logs when I got home, but if you'd rather see them sooner, I can send you everything right now if you like. Right. You know what? I think it's best I see them now. Would you mind sending them? Sorry for the trouble. It's no bother. I'll send everything now. Thanks a bunch. You're the best, sis. Avril, how's it going, you tragic little mess? Guess whose hunky stallion of a husband I'm with again today? Yep, that's right. Yours. Judging from the fact that you haven't replied to me once since before, is it fair to assume you've completely given up and resigned yourself to your fate? I'm sure having to come to terms with the fact you're the kind of woman who gets cheated on must be a bitter pill to swallow, but you can't deny reality any longer. You know, I actually think it's very admirable of you to accept your situation like this. Anyway, I'll be spending tonight wrapped in Dan's big, strong, muscular arms before letting him have his way with me in a tempestuous frenzy of rough, sensual passion that lasts until the early hours. Hey, Avril, I'm sorry to message you with this, but my husband's in the next room, so I figured it would be better to do it quietly without raising any suspicion. Hey, that's fine by me. Is this about the small matter we discussed before? Yes. I sent a request to a private investigator after you pointed me in the direction of a potential suspect for the woman my husband's been seeing behind my back. It turns out their relationship's been ongoing since way before she sent those messages laying everything bare. Ah, I see. Well, I guess that's not so surprising, thinking about how long ago it was when you first started to suspect something was going on. It makes perfect sense that they'd have been doing it a while. That's not all. I found out something else. And good lord, I swear, Avril, this one's gonna blow your mind. Blow my mind? How to put it, it's actually kind of crazy. What? You're scaring me now, sis. Go on, what is it? Actually, you know what? Sorry, babe, but this one's a little too shocking for text. So I'm gonna have to wait till my husband's out before I tell you. I'm gonna get started on punishing him for his low-life scumbag behavior real soon. Which is inevitably gonna mean you're getting dragged into it. I'm really sorry about this, sis. It's fine, I'm already prepared. Do whatever the hell you want to him. I don't want you to hold back, not even for 1 second, okay? Get him, Tiger! Believe me, I don't plan on holding back at all. That scumbag's gonna regret crossing me, that's for sure. Yay, we did it! Avril, I finally have a reason for you to divorce your husband. Hi, Taylor. I see you're just as annoying as ever this morning. What do you want? Make it quick. Don't be such a meanie, Avril. Fine, if that's your attitude, I'll come straight out with it. I'm pregnant with your husband's baby. Excuse me? With this, my position as the CEO's future wife is set in stone. Huh? Pregnant? The CEO's future wife? What are you talking about? Oh, come on. Are you actually that dense? Surely you must have some idea of what I'm talking about. I intentionally got pregnant to steal your position as the CEO's wife. Your husband belongs to me. The title of CEO's wife belongs to me. What are you talking about? Do you want me to repeat myself? Like I just said, I am pregnant with your husband's baby. Don't make me go through this boring old routine of making me repeat myself again, woman. With this, now you have no choice but to divorce him. I really don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about. Like I said, God, are you brain damaged or something? Read through the messages again if you still don't get it. I'm done repeating myself with you. Hey, Taylor, why don't you take a chill pill? Want to know something I do know? I do know that you're making the mother of all misunderstandings here. Huh? Misunderstandings? Me? What am I misunderstood about? Go on, this should be good. First of all, my husband isn't the CEO.
Second of all, he was sent on a long-term work transfer to Arkansas a year ago and has been too busy to come back ever since. So we haven't seen each other in person in ages.
Huh?
You think my husband is called Dan, don't you?
Yes, I know that's his name. What are you trying to do? Confuse me so I'll stop rubbing our steamy affair in your face? Well, it's not going to work. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee, Missy. I've seen the two of you coming out of the same house together countless times. Are you trying to tell me my own eyes are lying to me? Good grief. Are there any lengths you won't go to maintain your complete denial of reality? I'm actually starting to feel sorry for you now.
Dan is my brother-in-law.
Your brother-in-law?
My sister and I moved into our parents' house when they retired early to live a quiet life out in the country. It was a joint 2-family house, so now I live in one side and my sister lives in the other.
Excuse me?
Let me spell it out for you, basically. Dan, who technically lives in the same property as me, is my sister's husband.
Wow, really? He is?
Taylor, let me ask you something. Did you think I had 2 children?
Huh? Well, yes, I did. It looked like you had 2 kids of the same age, so I thought they might be twins.
You see, the thing is, I still only have 1 child.
Huh?
The other one is my sister's.
What? Are you kidding me?
Wow, I see. I knew it. You thought me and my sister were the same person, didn't you? We're almost the same age and look really similar in the face. But like I just told you, my husband is away on a work transfer and he hasn't been around for over a year. So the only male adult in these houses is Dan, my brother-in-law. So like I said before, it would appear that you made a huge misunderstanding based on a bunch of unfounded assumptions and a severe case of mistaken identity due to knowing absolutely nothing about our actual circumstances.
I see. So that's what's going on here. So Dan's wife was your older sister all along? Whatever. Am I phased? No. That's no problem at all. That's right. This changes nothing. Who cares who his current wife is? He'll still end up divorcing your sister all the same. And I'm still set to inherit the title of CEO's wife.
Yeah, about that. Would you mind telling me exactly why you think that's going to happen?
Sure, easy peasy. Dan is the CEO of Lubricated Logistics, one of the most well-known shipping companies in the US. Which means that when he divorces your sister and me and him finally tie the knot, I'll be the CEO's wife.
But the CEO is a woman.
Huh?
To be more precise, the CEO of Lubricated Logistics is my sister.
What?
You would have known this straight away if you bothered to check out the company homepage instead of getting carried away with your wild fantasies and outrageous delusions. Didn't you take a look?
Homepage? I don't know anything about that. If the CEO's a woman, what does Dan do at the company?
He doesn't even work for them. He works at one of Lubricated Logistics' subcontractor companies, but even then, it's not like he's a high-up or anything. He's just a regular old employee.
What? No way, this can't be. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying.
No, I'm definitely not lying. Oh yeah, and there was one more thing.
What?
That baby you're pregnant with, Dan's not the daddy, is he?
What? What on earth are you talking about? Do you have a single shred of evidence to back up such an absurd claim?
Dan's infertile.
What?
He became infertile after developing a serious infection not long after the birth of his and my sister's first child. The doctors told him he'll never have kids again.
No way, I can't believe this. Wait a sec, actually, hang on. So that's why he looked so troubled when I announced that I was pregnant? I just knew something was off about his reaction.
It's probably because that was the moment he realized you were seeing other guys behind his back. There must be a poetic irony in realizing the woman you're having an affair with is also cheating on you, huh?
Oh my, this is awful. Surely there has to be some kind of a mistake here. Does he really know? And he found out like that?
Anyway, Taylor, how about we wrap this up with a message from my sister?
Huh?
Irrespective of who the father of that baby in your belly is, the fact that you had an affair with my husband remains the same. Prepare to pay me large sums of compensation.
No, hold on a second. Dan isn't the CEO, right? If Dan isn't the CEO, who's gonna cover my share of the compensation? I sure as hell can't afford to pay it myself.
Even if Dan was the CEO, you're deluded if you think he'd ever pay your share of the compensation after what you did. The two of you may have been engaged in an affair, but you still lied to him and got pregnant by another man behind his back. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say marriage is probably off the table, and realistically, he most likely is going to break up with you before long.
No way, he wouldn't!
Actually, he would. Apparently, he already made it clear things with you are over, so it'd probably be wise to start making your own plans for the future. My sister took full custody of their child, and he already promised to pay her compensation for the affair, as well as monthly child support payments until their daughter grows up. Oh, and this should go without saying, but naturally he'll only be paying his share of the compensation, and not yours.
What?
If you actually stop to give it some thought, I'm sure you'll quickly understand. If there's actually anything resembling a brain cell in that hollow head of yours, that is.
Oh my god. No, this can't be happening. No. Are you serious? You have got to be kidding me. What am I supposed to do now? I can't be on my own. What do I do, Avril?
Why are you asking me? None of this is my problem.
What do I do? No, please, I'm serious. I have no clue how to get by on my own, and if I have to pay compensation, I'll be even more screwed.
Bye, Taylor.
But if he's not the dad, then who is?
The crazy thing my sister mentioned earlier was the fact that Taylor had been simultaneously seeing over a dozen different guys. Over the coming days, she received a monstrous bill for compensation. In a not-so-genius move, she caused a huge scandal when she went to the houses of each of her lovers one by one to try and ascertain which one was the baby daddy, also alerting their wives to the fact their husbands had been cheating on them in the process. She did end up figuring out who the dad was, but at what cost? Taylor's parents, already sick and tired of their daughter's reprobate behavior, finally decided to wash their hands of her and declare that enough was enough. Not only that, but after being deemed unfit to be a mother, both of her children were taken by child services and passed into the custody of relatives. Last I heard, Taylor's currently working several intensely physically demanding manual labor jobs in a desperate bid to come up with the compensation she now owes not only my sister, but also the 6 other women whose husbands she was sleeping with. Good luck, girl. You're gonna need it.